Lift every voice and sing. Today I'm going to present to you a poem which is also a song lyric written by James Weldon Johnson. And this song is basically a celebration. It's a celebration of freedom from slavery. And this song has at times been called the Black National Anthem. The history of the song is that it was written to be performed for a celebration of Lincoln's birthday in the year 1900. That is 35 years after Lincoln's death. And as James Weldon Johnson describes in the text that I'll provide to you, he seemed to think that he would write the song, his brother would produce the music, it would be performed this one time, and then probably it would be forgotten. He didn't expect the great popularity that this song took on. People taught the song and passed the song on, and it basically became well known nationally, and it continues to be sung today. So it has persisted long beyond the writer who created it. So I'm not a singer, and so I'm going to provide you with links to a couple of performances of the song. But I will describe some of the language so that you can understand what is being said in some of the detail of the song. Let me start off by talking a little bit about older forms of English. You probably have seen words used in Shakespeare and in other old poems which seem like English but a little bit different from how we use English today. And I'm specifically talking about words such as thee, thou, ye, and you. So to understand, well, to simplify it, if you see thee, thou, ye, or you, it means you. Okay? In the way we speak today, all of these words have become you. So why do some of the thous and these continue, especially in poetry? Because this also is sort of biblical English. You see these words in the Bible a lot, and that's because a lot of our Bibles are influenced strongly by the early translations of the Bible into English, particularly the King James Bible, written in a time when English was different. So, nowadays I could say, first person, I buy the book, he gives the book to me, we buy the books, they give the books to us. All familiar, right? But I, me, we, us, we have 4 different pronouns for the first person, depending on whether it's the person doing something or something is being done to the person, whether it's one person or many people. In older forms of English, including early modern English around Shakespeare's time and when the King James Bible was written, we had 4 second-person pronouns. Thou is the person who does it, one person. Thee is the person it's done to, one person. Ye are the people who do something, many people. You are the people something is done to, many people. With time, all of these became you. Okay? And then, interestingly enough, in places such as America, we started finding ways to say, hey, maybe we want a plural form of you. And that's where America innovated the y'all. Okay? So there is a continuing tradition of changing our language to suit what we want to express. Okay, that was a little complicated diversion. Let's get back to the song. Till. T-I-L-L. I used to think this looked strange, and I was wrong. Okay? Sometimes I thought, maybe it's short for until, because it has exactly the same meaning as until. So maybe it's supposed to be apostrophe T-I-L. No. T-I-L-L is correct. Don't be afraid or embarrassed to use till. It's just a little bit of old-fashioned English. In fact, till was a word in English before until. Till has been used for more than 1,000 years, and if you want to be more modern, just write until, okay? You'll see words such as hast. Thou hast is basically the same as today we would say you have. It's just, again, language changes over time. And one other bit of language that I think is great is the word lest. In English today, we just don't seem to use that word much, but it's so efficient. It's just such a short, simple word, lest. What does it mean? It basically means so that it should not happen. Right? I could say to you, when you ride in a car, wear a safety belt lest you be hurt in an accident. That's a lot more efficient than saying so that you should not be hurt in an accident, right? So that you should not be hurt in an accident, lest you be hurt in an accident, okay? So just recognize the word lest as basically so that it doesn't happen, okay? Now some more basic vocabulary, and this vocabulary is still used commonly today. So rejoicing is expressing great joy. It's celebrating, right? I am rejoicing for the great good that has happened to me. To resound means to echo or to fill with sound. So let our voices resound, fill the air with our voice. Trod, T-R-O-D. This is just the past tense of tread, meaning to walk. So our feet walked the road. They trod the road. Chasten. Chasten means to punish or discipline. So a chastening rod is a reference to a stick that would be used to beat someone for punishment. And this is a reference back to the dark times of slavery. And gloomy, this is a very common word, you've probably heard it, so I just want to keep in mind that it has two meanings. The more literal meaning is to be dark and shady. You could walk along a gloomy path in the woods. It's just dark. But metaphorically, it's come to mean sad and depressing, so much so that that's the more common use today. A gloomy mood is one of great sadness. Okay, so I'm going to plunge into the lyrics now. I'm just going to talk through it a little bit. I hope that you will have a chance to listen to it because hearing it performed is much more powerful than hearing me just say the words, okay? But lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. So it's just a call to sing and let all the world hear our celebration of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. So let it fill all of space and all of the sky and all to the distance of the sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. So, it's saying our faith is built on the suffering we went through in our past. And our faith is lifted up by the hope we have now. Okay, so the song is largely a celebration, but it still recalls the lessons of the past and the difficulty that we've struggled through. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. So again, this kind of hopeful vision of a new day has begun. We've got opportunity. Let us march on till victory is won. So although it's a celebration and a feeling of victory will be ours, the struggle is not over. Okay, so here we have a past, present, and future story being told through this song. The next stanza turns us back to the past, a remembrance of the difficulties that had to be survived. Stony the road we trod. We walked on a very difficult road. stony, covered with stones. Bitter the chastening rod. We suffered under the beating of a stick for discipline. Felt in the days when hope unborn had died. The days of slavery when our hope died before we even had hope. It was a defeat before there was even a thought of victory. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed? So it's saying, even though we thought we had no hope, now we find ourselves in a situation where we have reached that promised land of freedom that our forefathers, the slaves, sighed for, wished that they could have. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. So this is a more graphic expression of the real suffering that black folks in America have come through, and especially in 1900, looking back a couple of generations to the period of slavery. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. And this conjures up the image of people following a star as their guide to lead them into the promised land of freedom again. We have come out of a time of great darkness and sadness, and now we see where our hope for great liberty is standing right in front of us. Now the last stanza is a call to remember God and to remember our faith, however we go forward. So, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by thy might being strength, led us into the light, keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. So lest, right? So that we do not step off the path. So that we do not forget you. Because our hearts are drunk with the wine of the world, we may celebrate the great happiness we have in the world today and forget the God that helped us through the difficult times. So don't let that happen, so that we should not forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand may we forever stand. Let us always be walking under your protecting hand. True to our God, true to our native land, the land in which we were born. So, that's the best I can do to lay out specific meaning of lines, but the meaning of the whole poem is what you can extract from it when you listen to it. I hope that you enjoy. I'm going to provide two versions of it, so you can hear a sort of straightforward performance and then a more harmonized performance. And then I'll just ask for your reactions. Meanwhile, have a pleasant day. Goodbye.